go live with the cold open.
I don't want to do the cold open that way, though, Marcus. No, I don't think
we're doing it this way.
A night in Miami. I'm not starting the story. We're going to start the show. We're going to talk about Bailey and her new talk show, Ding Dong.
Hello.
Talk about vanilla ice cream.
I don't want to talk about vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you start a party up.
I believe vanilla ice cream was voted the least favorite flavor in ice cream world. I don't know if that's true, but I think it is because it's boring, man. It's plain. It's plain like vanilla.
It's only good when it's like in a root beer float or something. If you mix vanilla ice cream with something, it might be good, but anything else is terrible. Manny.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Check out the Marcus, man. He should.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Girl,
But Bailey looks like she's about to adopt Bianca Belair.
you know, man, the opening just makes me really be disappointed, brought my spirit down because, Shotzi, who was a friend of the show, I'm just disappointed in her choices in life this week. I just, it's hard for me to bounce back at who she chose to team with this week.
We don't need you to go back to where you were on Thursday because that show went on for far too long. You complained about AEW for far too long.
I didn't complain that long, sir. I did not. You guys
You did. You when your presence alone made that segment go 15 minutes.
Let's not play the past. Let's move forward to the present.
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. This, of course, is the last edition of the Saturday Untitled Manny and Marcus show, unless Eric goes on hiatus once again. I am, of course, Lord Manny Hayes, and he is
Marcus the Grand Finale.
And we're joined by
the head of the table, Eric, also known as the hater.
You're head of nothing.
You're not head of the table.
Y'all bitterness. My shirt says I'm the head of the table, man. That's what my shirt says.
You should be saying thank you to us for keeping your show relevant.
Of relevancy. Okay. Oh man, Manny, can we hit them one time? We need one of those ultra cameras they have. That's what we're gonna add next and advance. And the Sharpshooters podcast is
I love that everyone was talking about that, but that being like an 8K camera, but we're not.
It was just blurred background. It's
just a blurred. People are getting fooled by a blurred background. Depth of vision.
Can I be technical real quick? What is they're being fooled by? It is an 8K camera, but the problem is that it's not.
It's not. It's a 4K camera.
It up-res to 8K though. That's the whole thing that they're selling. The thing is that because it's mirrorless and they can put adjustable lenses on there, that's what's giving the look that people are not used to. It was on a gimbal. I can technically do that with this camera right here on my gimbal, but it's really nice because people haven't seen it before.
But you're not going to do it because it involves effort.
You're correct, Manny. We can also change my name. We can change my name to No Effort Eric the Hater. I'm okay with that.
Well, guys. The Untitled Manny and Marcus show is brought to you by a sponsor today. It's brought to you by B-Side Studios and the Buzzing Cousins podcast. This podcast will be hosted by Chrissy Johnson and Teresa T. Bizzle Johnson, live on Facebook. T. Bizzle will bring her rock-solid broadcasting background to this uncensored podcast. T. Biz was one of the hosts of the historic Chicago Girlfriends radio show, hosted by her, Alice Boswell, and Stephanie Evans, from Intellectual Radio. Chrissy brings her gift of the gab and unfiltered takes of what's going on in the world. Together, the ladies will tackle issues centering around women, mental health, beauty, fashion, and pop culture, amongst other topics. Imagine this being a Red Table Talk type show, but without the entanglement, or will it? Buzzing Cousins is set to premiere on the January the 8th, 2021 at 7 p.m. CST, live on both the Buzzing Cousins and B-Side Studios Facebook pages. Both links can be found in the description below. Or alternatively, you can contact Maurice D. Prophet for more details.
Well done.
Well done.
Man, reading's hard, you know.
Babaru Pound for the Buzzing Cousins in our first paid promotion and our first read. Boom, there it goes.
That was a really nice and I plan on probably checking that out for just a little bit, even though it doesn't fit me. I'll probably tune in and go like, I want the entanglement part.
Everyone was the entanglement part. Why are you here? The entanglement part. I was promised entanglement. I was promised entanglement.
Oh, that's probably the one word that has stayed with me from 2020 the most is entanglement. We can't even play Monopoly together without talking about we're in an entanglement because someone bought somebody else's property. You got Kentucky? We're in an entanglement.
Oh no, this is a three-way entanglement. Damn it.
Yeah, damn it.
Would you consider the trade of James Harden an entanglement?
Man, don't get me started on that.
Oh man, I can rant all day on James Harden. I can rant all day on that team, James Harden, Kyrie. But you know what? As Shaq said, they gotta win. If James Harden don't win here, he's done. He's dead to us all. But my favorite thing to come out of this was, Eric, I sent you the video of LeBron, the dude doing LeBron James screaming, "I'm 36," which is my mantra for the rest of the year. I'm just going to scream that. I'm 36! In which he's complaining about them teaming up together.
Like, my favorite thing about it is that when Boogie went on the podium and said, man, he disrespected us from the beginning. And then James Harden said, I didn't disrespect anybody. Your ass came in fat and you didn't care. You got a haircut when you became a Brooklyn Net. But you know what?
Yeah.
Let's have a moment of silence, everyone, for the strippers of Houston. They won't be the same. All right, thank you.
Dang, they don't get that long of a moment.
No, man.
A moment of silence.
A moment.
Say how long that moment would be.
We're not giving them 10 bills, Marcus. We're not giving them 10 bills. This ain't Atlanta. This ain't Magic City, man.
I have a question, though. You know, considering how crazy the world is and considering outside of, you know, wrestling, you got like the James Harden stuff. I feel like real life storylines in real sports and in politics, I'm taking a precedent of having better storylines in the world of professional wrestling. And why can't they steal these storylines? Why is there no James Harden on the WWE? Or why is there no, I know Donald Trump is taboo, but why is there no one being banned from Parler or Twitter in AEW? I'm just saying, let's take some of these real world storylines and put them into wrestling again.
Well, Marcus, you can't because people are too sensitive.
There's nothing unsensitive about James Harden. You put Swerve Scott and you have somebody cut a promo. If you spent more time in the ring than you did in the strip club, I think you would be a greatest wrestler alive. And then it would be done. And then he demands a trade to Raw.
I'm just going to say, Swerve Scott's podcast is really boring, by the way.
Because Swerve Scott is really boring. Marcus is the only man that likes Swerve Scott.
I think he's talented in the ring. I don't follow anything else he does. I'm not the only man.
Honey, I appreciate you putting in that work trying to listen to Swerve Scott's podcast, because when they announced that he had a podcast, I was like, man, this is like 205 Live. I'm not going
because there was a few people on there that was just like, okay, I'll check them out. So like, I think he had Pat McAfee on there, he had Shotzi on there, he had Tony Storm on there, and then he had Johnny Gargano on there a couple of times. Oh. And then you listen to it and it's like, do you know what, this is kind of dull, you know?
You know, he got to tweak the knobs in the studio.
Yeah.
So moving on to...
What we're just saying is we're never getting invited to Swerve Scott's podcast.
I'd rather talk to a brick wall, my friend.
But if Swerve Scott would like to come and chat to us on our podcast, we're happy to liven him up some and bring some joy into his life and make him exciting. Because
if he coming on here, he better remove that red streak from his hair.
You know we're red streak hair, biggest. You can't come in here looking like the Tonka. That's some bullshit. Fuck up our spunks away.
You guys ready to talk about SmackDown?
I'm ready, man. I was born ready.
So SmackDown opened up with Roman Reigns reviewing the contract for his Royal Rumble match with Adam Pearce, much like the way Eric examines a menu. And if you want context for that joke, check out the last episode of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show.
Honestly, I wanted to start this show with one of us just reading.
Like
just looking and making facial expressions of And then have one of the other ones. You don't like what's in there, Eric? You don't like that? I can change that. Yeah, absolutely. There's something wrong with that. We're going to go change it. I know what you want.
My favorite thing about contracts in WWE, I feel like their contracts might be the longest contracts in the world because, first of all, this would have had a full pamphlet where they were flipping pages and stuff like that. I just know you should fight this man on this date at this time for this title. But
no, there's so much legal mumbo jumbo you need to throw into there.
Yeah. It's all. Here's my question: better contracts? Who's better at signing contract? Or it's not even like the question. Roman Reigns should have looked at the private party's contract and told them what to do. They should have been in there with Apollo getting advice on how to handle contract. That way they wouldn't be losing 30% to Matt Hardy. I'm just saying.
So Paul Heyman states that this match needs a stipulation and to give him the freedom to be him and teach Adam Pearce about fear and respect and that he will sort it out. So Jey Uso makes his way out to the ring and cuts what I felt like was a nonsense promo at the beginning.
He was talking a bunch of shit about who I am, what I do. He runs everything. It was like if Triple H had a sidekick back when he was running the show, this is the shit he would be saying.
So he tells people in the back that he should be saying thank you to Roman for being the provider for the fresh towels and the food and making them relevant. He declared his entry into the Royal Rumble and vowed.
The first thing that came to his head.
So he declared his entry into the Royal Rumble, something Drew Gulak was not able to do, and vowed to go to Raw, where he would beat Drew or Oldberg for the WWE title.
Yes. Do you think, because I think we put this on the last show, do they have enough, I guess, cachet, wrestling ability to say they're better than Drew Gulak to just declare themselves in the Rumble? Does Jey Uso get the right? Is he better than Drew Gulak?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's hands down, man.
I know, but it's several people that just declared themselves for the Rumble, like Cesaro and Drew Gulak. Like, there's a million people.
So he says Nakamura should be thanking them because they let him survive. Nakamura comes out with his old music without the Japanese lyrics and states that Jey Uso is a puppy to Roman Reigns' big dog. I honestly thought he was going to call him a bitch.
Yeah, I thought he was. But you know what? He showed class at the curl. I was going to call him a bitch, and I would have called him a bitch. He's more of a bitch than a bitch. And I would have went that route with it.
So this overall opening segment, how did you feel about this, Eric?
Overall, I thought the segment was enjoyable. I mean, it had its flaws. I mean, I'll put Jey Uso to a side, but I think we have to agree that Roman Reigns has one of the best disgusted looking face in the game right now, because when he was looking at that contract, I knew what he was thinking. No, this shit ain't right. But then Paul Heyman being that guy, the subservient butler who wants to fix everything. I can fix this, Roman. Give me the opportunity. And it's like, okay, yeah, great. Then you go down to the ring. Of course, Jey Uso is rambling on about God knows what. But I do like that they were establishing the master plan that pretty much the tribal chief ultimate plan is to take over both SmackDown and Raw, which I think is great because we all know that SmackDown does great ratings. So if you can hint that maybe Roman might try to take his talent to Raw, it works out.
Wait a minute. Is this your Impact coup?
What?
Is this what you wanted WWE to do?
I mean, because
how they have merged, Impact and AEW are basically, working together. You want an unprecedented alliance between Raw and SmackDown?
Let me tell you something. We need to have some type of petition or something to save Monday Night Raw, because Monday Night Raw is by far the worst show of the week because a bunch of stuff happens that we just don't need. And yes, Manny, it is worse than AEW Dynamite. I said it.
So you basically want a storyline that Triple H wanted a very long time ago when Batista won the Royal Rumble and he wanted Batista to go over to SmackDown to challenge JBL.
Yes.
Well, Triple H ran Raw.
Pretty much. I mean, like the whole thing is like when Jay was mentioning the plan, and then I was like, "Oh no, wait, not you winning the Rumble and you challenging. No one wants that. You're not the one for this." But then I also like that Nakamura came out. Did not like his phrasing, but I do like seeing Nakamura back in the main picture again. And yeah, it led to the match where I'll let Marcus talk some because I talked enough already.
We think of the old music.
I enjoy Marcus, you said it on the show. You said Nakamura's arms are out. He looks like he's working out. He might got one last big push in him, and I think he might because I really wanted him to be the surprise at the end of the show, but he wasn't.
Oh, he'd be the surprise at the end of the show.
I wanted him to be
advertised this match for a week.
No, I'm talking about at the end of the show, Marcus, the big reveal.
Why are we jumping ahead? We shouldn't be jumping ahead, man. Yeah. Thought it was a good, nice opening segment. You talked a long time about this opening segment. I'm just gonna say it's nice. It was good.
So the Street Profits state that they will be back for their titles. They claim that they were champions for 312 days. Whilst I believe that count should have been reset when the moment they swapped the titles with the New Day.
They didn't say what type of champions they were. So technically they were champions for 300 and whatever days, but they did say that they lost their titles in between to the New Day, and the New Day won the titles to the New Day in the same night. So technically that day still counts as champion.
So Paul then comes back to the Chief with a contract for a no DQ match, which he wasn't happy about. He states he wants a last man standing match. all this happening while Apollo is in the room getting a lesson from the Tribal Chief.
Apollo trying to walk away is like, "Oh, I need to go." No, you need to sit here and learn. He's gonna learn some lessons from this. I don't know what he could have learned. I didn't ask for a DQ match, Paul. I want respect. I need fear. I want last man standing.
Marcus, this was a lesson on how to handle business.
What if Apollo ain't got no leverage like this to be drawn up?
Yeah, but if he links himself to the Tribal Chief, as we learn in the, which I've just realized I've completely jumped ahead of the match of Nakamura versus Jey Uso, that if you stick with the Tribal Chief, you're going to be looked after. So Nakamura versus Jey Uso with Cesaro commentary. Throughout the match, they try to drive a wedge between Cesaro and Nakamura when they keep questioning about his whereabouts from last week. Nakamura picks up the win after Jey argues with Charles after he waved off a 3 count when he saw Jay's feet on the rope. In the back, Jey threatens Charles' job in the back, stating, "You're going to get fired messing with the Chief. Do your job better."
He's messing with Jey Uso. He ain't messing with the Chief. Roman would have got the 3 count. I know Charles Robinson seems to be a theme with Roman and Jey as of late. Because even back in the matches in the prior months, Charles Robinson was the one trying to defend Jey Uso. I'm talking about, it's your cousin. In the first or second match, somewhere in there, it's your cousin, man. Stop it. And then it was the chubby Asian guy, the next one.
Wasn't it Charles the one he called a bitch to count the 3?
Yeah. So I thought it was a solid match. I thought they delivered, but the whole direction. Oh my god, the whole direction of
you have a smoker's cough. You know that, right?
Dang, I tell you, man, you got it, man. Don't trust them doctors.
A few more cigarettes, Eric. You're gonna start sounding like Natty.
Respect her name, man. Don't be Natty like that, man.
But the whole tease of Cesaro and Nakamura turn, I don't know where they're going with that. I didn't feel like I was expecting Cesaro to turn on Nakamura that night. But
Cesaro was dressed to screw over Nakamura that night. That was the worst part. When he came down to the ring, I was like, he has no reason to be at ringside doing this match. And the whole time, and I think this is where I give WWE credit, because I think they suspected that people would expect that Cesaro was screwing people. So you're sitting there waiting for the screw job. They're even hinting at the screw job and commentating, but we never got it.
You said screw job a lot. You said screw a lot in that sentence. Just saying.
You need to stop trying to push that narrative, Marcus. Just stop it.
There ain't no narrative, man. You said screw a lot. You're like, Cesaro's going to screw somebody. And we were waiting to see Cesaro screw somebody. He didn't screw anybody. But they're teasing that he's going to screw somebody. Somebody's going to get screwed. That's kind of what you said. I'm just saying. Verbatim. End quote.
So now that we're back on track, Natalya is facing off against Liv Morgan. Billie Kay was the star in this whole portion of the show when she came out with the Riot Squad, to her stating herself to be unofficially official part of the Riot Squad.
Yes. She's making it. She did it. And, her needing help up on the apron to try to get into their pose. Everything worked. Like, she looks like she fits. I don't know why Ruby seems to be upset about this. Liv seems to be going about her day. But
I don't know what she's trying to do with the Spider-Man fingers over there.
I think it's the intentional. I think it's the intentional that she doesn't really know what she's doing. Instead of throwing up the devil horns, she's doing it upside down. Like it's also could be a disrespect to Too Sweet and upside down. Who knows?
It's not.
You never know what's going on. But I think it's just Billie Kay just being naturally awkward. That's entertaining. That makes this whole thing work.
She walked to the wrong side of the ring though, and pissed off Tamina. Yeah.
We should also be glad that Billie Kay subsequently is getting Tamina TV time.
Marcus' prediction might happen, but as I was telling Marcus, I think we also have to give some respect to the boat. I thought no one really wants a Natty match, but when Natty's in the ring, she has very good matches with people, and she did a really good job with Liv Morgan in this match. And
Eric, define very good, because I feel like every time Natty's out there, it's a basic match.
Hey, with Liv Morgan, sometimes basics is what you need to have happen. I mean, we had a basic match with the seasoning of Billie Kay on the outside. And you know what? I thought this segment worked overall for what they were trying to accomplish.
Natty is competent in the ring, and she can just do a basic match very well, and she keeps the status quo. Do you want Natty to be a champion? No. Do you want her? But she's a good hand to make everybody look good. I'm tired of people disparaging the name of Natty.
No, like Marcus said,
she would be the champ.
No, she would be Serena
champ,
D.
I mean NWA champion.
Yeah, she would be Serena D. And that's the role
Serena D can easily out wrestle Natty Night. Huh?
I don't know. I don't think so, Maddie.
I think they're about equal.
Yeah.
I think they're about equal. I think Serena D looks greater considering that she's wrestling garbage every single week.
Well, I think Serena Deeb's matches are more memorable than any Natty match. Well, tell me a Natty match you remember.
Natty versus
Charlotte at NXT Arrival.
But Manny, I think that
you're going back to a match that was almost 6 years ago.
Manny, you said David.
You didn't
put a time frame or anything.
All right, fine. In the last 3 years,
Royal Rumble.
Too long.
Natty was in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and I remember that match.
No, I will point out, man, I think the difference between Serena and Natty is that Natty has been oversaturated. We've seen so much of Natty that it's like, you know what? I don't need to see Natty anymore. Compared to Serena, if you see her on AEW, that's going to give you a competent match on that show for the women. And it's no disrespect to anybody else, but that's what you know. And
are we going to review Natty matches and Serena Deeb matches for the review show?
No,
what's going to happen here?
No, we don't need to do that. We don't. Medicaid, you please move to the next segment before Marcus get any other bad ideas.
So Rey Mysterio, dressed as Vomit, was with his son Dominic versus Baron Corbin. The match was okay. Dominic is like his dad, emotionless on commentary. You could have told me that was a robot on commentary and I would have believed you.
My biggest issue with this, and I told Marcus, I was like, I think Rey Mysterio will see now because he put his underwear on the outside of his uniform because it looked like he was wearing white briefs as he was wrestling. And it was just like, what the hell is this outfit, Ray? What are you doing? Overall,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, overall, it was fine, but I think the biggest problem is that we're about to get another meaningless Baron Corbin feud for no reason. And
what do you mean we're about to? This has been going on for months.
We're in the middle of this.
Yeah, I think it's starting back up because I thought we established that we got away from it. Now it's coming back.
The only thing missing was Baron Corbin's goons.
And Buddy.
The Wolves. I don't know what they're called.
The nice little lone wolf. But Buddy Murphy's missing. He can't be found either. So is Aaliyah. By the way, I just want to say Dominic needs to teach his father how to dress or something, man. Dominic comes in with all this fucking hype beast outfit with all these advertising. Him and Miro, the exact same gimmick, I swear to God. He's wearing fancy ass outfits. But he got his ass whooped, just like I thought he should have, by Baron Corbin.
But the
Baron
thing
Corbin
about,
looked like a grown ass man you don't want to fuck with. And Rey Mysterio told him, you don't mess with Baron Corbin. I'm about to go over Baron Corbin's resume right now. Money in the Bank winner, failed at that. King of the Ring, no one really likes the King gimmick. And he's a Gold Club winner from a year that no one actually remembers. You don't mess with Baron Corbin. Son, he'll fuck you up.
Eric's upset because you're offending his boy.
But I need to rewind real quick because I did not speak on one certain thing. I thought the Apollo being in the locker room with Roman was probably one of the best segments of the week, for the simple reason that it really solidified everything that Roman has been preaching about. Like, if you come to me, if you respect me, I'll be there to show you how to move up in those levels. And seeing him right there just shows how disrespectful Kevin Owens had been and why he deserved being beat up the way that he did.
Kevin Owens disrespectful.
Kevin Owens wasn't disrespectful.
I know, but
He's
I'm siding with.
lying,
I am being delusional right here and justifying Roman's actions of him being the good guy when we all know he is the bad guy. But he is the bad guy that's doing the good work for the greater good.
So we move into possibly the best premiere of a TV show I've ever seen. Ding dong! Hello!
It is. I mean, number one, the door being used, that you have to use the door, is a good plus. It's a plus. It's a plus. Yeah. It's always a plus. When the APA did it, it's a plus. Bailey doing it, ring the doorbell first before you just come to the door. You know it's me, Bailey. And then Bailey not only introduced Bianca Belair, wait till she gets to the door. And then says, who's there? And then open it and pretends to be surprised it's Bianca Belair.
I'm not being funny, but she also introduced her as a GUEST.
Yes. It was very well played. Very well played.
Yeah, so Bailey insisted that that she is the best for having beat Belair a few weeks back, and this led to a back and forth argument between the two, leading to Bailey challenging Belair to an obstacle course next week, which we both know is not going to be good.
It's not going to go good for Bailey. She's gonna get smoked unless it's a ridiculous obstacle course that she set up, and it's like these things don't make any sense
unless it's rigged.
Yeah.
I mean, overall for me, I like the segment. I think that they're trying to establish Bailey on her own. I think her and Bianca do have some type of chemistry with each other where they can really play off. I would have kicked Bianca's ass when she sat into my chair. And on top of that, she sat in her chair and kind of put her legs up on the side of my chair. Hey, that chair did look really comfortable.
You can't kick her ass. That's the point.
My only thing is that I just didn't want them to go down the road that they did with Bianca's husband with the Viking Raiders, where we're going to have like these challenges. I don't know if this is what we really need, but it's the road to the Rumble. You're trying to give more personality to Bailey. You're trying to elevate Bianca. So I guess we'll just see where this goes. I mean, I think it was far better than what we saw with Carmella and Sasha. But
I completely skipped that because I felt that was unnecessary and boring.
Yeah, but you got
a man next week.
But you got to admit that match between her sommelier is quite interesting.
I hope he beats the shit out of her. Why? Because she's a terrible face.
She is.
She's not doing her job properly.
Well, see, that's the biggest problem.
Most unlikable people in the room together.
I've never
walked into that room and it was like, oh, I hate these people.
I never quite understood why they always try to do Sasha as a face. She is not a face. She's despicable.
Bailey went heel.
Yeah, but still, it's just that, like, I think that's where you can see where Bailey could be the better performer because she can play both roles very well.
Well, she couldn't at one point.
No, but this is what I wrote. This is what I wrote for this segment in my notes. This just shows how far Bailey has come since Bailey. This Is Your Life segment with Alexa Bliss. Like, how bad was that segment?
Yeah.
And then like now you can where you could tell how weak Bailey was on the mic back then, whereas now she's the stronger one in the segment. And then, but you can tell Bianca needs more work on the mic, and you know she can do it because she's got that natural charisma about herself.
I thought Bianca was fine this week. I
Sorry.
thought they were both fine. I thought they did their part. What I'm disappointed is that they did announce that they were going to be in the Dusty Rhodes Women's Classic. Because because Bayley has announced that she's in.
She's demanding to be put in it.
No, she said she got put in.
Ooh,
with who?
We don't know
They
yet.
haven't announced it yet.
That's the intriguing part.
Brackets.
That's why.
Maybe her and Bianca will team up to be in the Dusty Classic and win the whole damn thing.
And that's why I said the Women's Dusty Classic is going to be the most interesting thing because it's the first time they're going to put a lot of work into that. Interesting thing is that
you didn't watch 205 Live to watch the Bollywood Boys versus Legado del Fantasma. You
Let
didn't
me
watch
guess.
that.
Del Fantasma won.
He barely did it, man. I just
Okay. But I would point out that Bayley has moved up over Sasha Banks in my female wrestler rankings.
I think Bayley has proved from last year and going into this year that she has elevated herself to why she would be understood to be that PWI #1 female wrestler.
She's number 2 on my list, man. Number 2.
Who's number 1? Is it Charlotte?
Charlotte's number 1. Come on, man.
Charlotte? So Charlotte Bayley. Who's 3
Sasha.
and 4?
Sasha. 4? Oh, there's my echo. Or maybe I'm just hearing myself.
You're hearing yourself.
Okay.
Echoing.
You hear me echoing too?
I don't.
Okay, I guess that all matters. Manny don't hear me echoing. Number 4 will probably be Becky. But I don't know.
I don't know. Becky kind of soured towards the end. I felt like it was it was going too far.
Yeah, I will give Asuka that 4th spot or 3rd.
Oh, you're right. Asuka is number 4. I forgot about her. Sorry.
So, I completely forgot because I didn't put it in my notes. So, I think we might get the reunion of the Iconics in the Dusty Cup. Because I find it really strange that she's hanging out with the Riot Squad who initially broke up the Iconics.
I don't think they have continuity like that in WWE, Manny. I don't even think they're thinking about that.
I think they are.
They have memories of a fly in this company. At one point, Nakamura was losing to Otis. The next week, he's the most dominant wrestler they have in the roster.
So next we move into Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. This was an amazing match with amazing back and forth wrestling that may make it to the new series hosted by Marcus Match Reviews. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. Once the show is over. As we break down Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor taking place on New Year's Eve a week ago. How did you feel about this match, Eric?
I enjoyed this match. I mean, what do you expect? They're both professionals. Cesaro got busted open the hard way in the back of his head. And I think this shocking moment of Cesaro actually getting the win was what I enjoyed the most. I was like, man, because as we know, Cesaro is been considered in my top 10, possibly top 5 of all time. And unfortunately, he just never got that chance because he's a tag team slut. But, besides that, I was happy to see him get the win. And, Bryan looks like he might be on his way out to go be a family man.
I can't honestly take your top 5 ever seriously because Matt Hardy was in there at one point.
Yeah, he's still in there.
Manny, I was on drugs during that period.
What? Yo, drug, you gotta fix this echo. I'm tired of hearing you twice. Because your opinion is stupid.
It might be you echoing.
No, it is 100% you. Because only when you talk, I hear the same thing like twice. Or maybe 3 times. 4 times. Maybe 6. Yeah, but it was a good match. They did what they do. I expect them to have a great match. And I'm just going there and going like, this is great. 2 of the best.
Is this going on your match review?
No. It wasn't big enough.
Well, Daniel Bryan, you say talk about Daniel Bryan going into family life. I think it's because I'm echoing now. Yeah, I'm echoing now.
I stopped that.
Yeah, so I think it's because he's moving into a booker role.
Yeah, and he's doing good work getting everybody over. Like, he helped Nakamura last week, Cesaro this week. Who knows where this goes, but I feel like he's doing good work of establishing himself. Him just hanging out with Otis and Chad, giving them some talk about the Alpha, what they're doing, really helps them out a little bit. So I feel like he's doing good work. And since he's going to the Booker role, I think that would be a good mind to have in the back for future dates too as well.
So we move on to Apollo Crews versus Sami Zayn, where Big E watched this match from a sofa at ringside.
Oh, come on, man, come on! That dude's gonna drop an album with that.
No, that looks like, hey guys, subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Hey, you know what that looks like? That looks like you come out your room and you see your mom's new boyfriend just sitting on the couch and you go like, what the fuck? This is very baby boy-esque.
Yeah, at least he didn't pull a Virgil. At least all his private parts are still tightly enclosed, man. That's all I can appreciate.
Those old man balls hanging out.
Do not encourage Big E, Eric. I can honestly see him sitting on that couch in some skinny underwear with the title around him, cutting the promo. I was not encouraging that man. I did not encourage him to do anything.
Listening to the New Day podcast, I know what type of man Big E is, especially when it comes to his friends' computers and what he likes to do. I just want to point out. And the fact that he got caught and he had no shame about being caught makes it even worse.
Oh, he did have shame, he said.
A little shame. It was a little shame.
It was a little shame, but it wasn't much. Sorry, man. I think I might have broke the show with that reference because that was one of the funniest stories I've ever heard.
So this was another good match from Sami Zayn. The conspiracy gimmick continues. It gets ridiculous every week.
We got full ass cheeks on this one, though.
Yeah, he got all up in there with that.
Yeah.
With that tight
like
ball.
as Big E said, he got the knuckles in there. Oh, what I like about Sammy's documentary is that the footage is always on the wrong side. When he replays the documentary footage, they will not be able to see Apollo hold the tights on the other side. They will not be able to see. They're on the wrong side of the ring.
So this Big E rivalry with Apollo is clearly going somewhere, and I hope it elevates the IC title for a few weeks. However, this could be a nice ploy into Big E enters the Rumble, wins it, and drops the title to Apollo to chase the big dog. But I know that probably ain't gonna happen.
No. You really hoping for a lot. I think Big E is gonna have the title for just a little bit.
What I really enjoyed about this segment was the fact that I felt the pep talk that Roman gave to Apollo really helped out, because afterwards they just really had a black male moment of just talking trash to each other at the end of the match. So that's how you want to win, man. I just won the match. What you talking about? And I just really like the dynamic between Big E and Apollo, and I look forward to see where this goes.
Do you think there'll be more? Do you think there'll be more involvement of the Roman influence on this?
Hopefully.
All right. I need you guys to stop talking. All right. Required viewing for this show. Before we start every show, we need to start watching Talking Smack. Because they were on there again. It was Big E, Paul Heyman, and Apollo. And Paul Heyman talked about y'all being too respectful for each other. A nice man ain't never won no titles. A nice man's a loser. You guys can't be shaking hands and being disrespectful. And then at the end, Big E leaves. After they were talking shit to each other. You know, they go back and forth, Apollo and Big E. And Big E leaves his microphone, and then Paul Heyman go, look at them, being disrespectful. They just left their microphones. And he talking about how they need to be disrespectful. They didn't even take it and clean it. Disgusting. This is disgusting. We're in a pandemic. But Talking Smack, they continue to feud, they're trash talking, and they're really building to the Intercontinental title match next week. I really wish that, like when Big E won the title, this gets the main event SmackDown, but I doubt it.
So Chris has just entered the chat with an angry face. I have no reason understanding why. So we get to the contract signing where Roman Reigns bullies Adam Pearce into signing the contract for the last man standing match at the Royal Rumble before taking his place at the head of the table because he wanted Adam's chair.
Give me your chair.
Pearce said he was waiting for Roman to do that all night as he left the ring, claiming he was injured and revealing that the card is subject to change, and then introduced Kevin Owens, who signed the contract for the Rumble title match. How was this swerve?
I'm 100% disappointed with this. Eric, I don't know if you want to go first. I don't know if you said anything in the past hour.
I was also disappointed with it, but I think it also really shows the more development of the story of how Roman is so full of himself that he put himself in this situation I mean, technically, he could have had a match against Adam Pearce. The match that I wanted personally, I wanted the return of the Scrap Daddy on one of the bigger WWE pay-per-views because he signed that no DQ match contract. But then afterwards, like, you know, he wanted the last man standing, and then guess what? He had time to think about it. I also wanted to be Nakamura. Kevin Owens makes sense. Overall, I'm still okay with the direction that they're leading me to as we get to that road to WrestleMania.
Did you almost forget what the big show was called?
I did almost forget. You know, it didn't happen last year. And this was supposed to be our year.
It can still happen, man. It can still happen. They moved the date back to April 11th. It can still happen.
And they happened in LA, baby.
It's happening in LA. They still advertise in Hollywood, baby.
We are the epic center. We are the epicenter of the virus.
Epicenter. We're the EpiPen. We are going to get through this. In 4 months now, we're all going to be vaccinated, and we're all going to be hugging and sweating all over each other and spitting in each other's mouths. We're all going to be back. Marcus,
I don't think anybody wants to hear that from you, but what happened with that last segment? Man, you freaking motherfucker.
Anyway, Eric, I'm disappointed in you and your AEW bias that you can't come out and see the biggest problem on this SmackDown show. To me, I was upset with this. This is the biggest problem with the show. It makes no sense that Nakamura came out to not, one, get any revenge, that he's not in the match, and that it's Kevin Owens again. Kevin Owens is the third option I don't want. I'd rather get Adam Pearce, I'd rather get Shinsuke, and then maybe Kevin Owens. I wanted this to continue to make sense, but, you know, I feel like this, it didn't work for me. Plus, the mic didn't even work when they were coming out. The microphone didn't even work for Adam Pearce.
So in the mid card mess, this is where the unprovoked shot at AEW occurred from.
Oh, wow. What was the shot?
It was just like, oh yeah, this is some AEW shit. I was like, bro,
which was a big Manny problem with the echo backstage in that locker room. So it all came back full circle.
Well, they have big audio problems now. I think they fixed it recently. But
no, they think that AEW production has improved quite a lot. The only issue recently they had was when they were trying to bleep out swearing, and it just wasn't even taking effect.
I mean, I would like to bring something about AEW up after we finish SmackDown because I just have a question. Would you guys have a thought or something that I read?
No one else is offended that, or not offended, but no one's upset that it wasn't Shinsuke or even Adam Pearce's fight Roman. I'd rather see those matches than Kevin Owens.
Well, the thing about it, Marcus, is that, like, I understand you want to see Nakamura because Nakamura does have a claim to fight Roman because what Roman did to him, but also Kevin Owens does too. He threw Kevin Owens off of the Thunderdome. I mean, like,
yeah, it's an excuse to keep him off TV.
I mean, it's one of those things that, like, Adam Pearce could have took it to a whole nother level to really try to screw Roman and make it a triple threat match. But I think people would have been unhappy if it was a triple threat match. And on top of that,
last man standing match.
Yeah, and then
no shit like that.
And then I don't know if this match is going to happen because the last shot of SmackDown was Roman's face looking disgusted. So the card is subject to change. Maybe Kevin Owens don't make it. Who knows what happens?
Yeah, I think we've how many episodes of SmackDown have we got left? I think we've got 2 episodes, two maybe episodes of SmackDown left before we get to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So
no, we got one more.
Is it?
Oh yeah, two. Yeah, we got next week's as well.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see where this goes.
No, it's just one. It's just one SmackDown.
No, it's 2 weeks.
No, Royal Rumble's like the 23rd or something.
No, the Royal Rumble's the end of the month.
Yes, it's the end of the month, Marcus.
I thought it was 23rd.
I think it's the 29th, I think.
The 29th, I believe it's the 29th, Marcus.
All I know is the week that the Super Bowl doesn't happen. It's in between those weeks.
It's at the end of the month. But, you know, the thing about it is that I really thought this was a very good episode of SmackDown. I thought that I had a storyline that I could follow. I mean, was I happy with every decision that they made? No, but I thought they gave me a reason to watch and a reason to care. And that's all I want from my wrestling show. And that's why I think SmackDown is the must-watch television wrestling show of 2021.
I just felt like that was a fart in the room when Kevin Owens came out. I was really upset.
I don't know. It pushes the story along. So
Manny, I have an issue with Marcus. He's upset that Kevin Owens was put into the spot, but yet today is the day that he wears the Kevin Owens shirt. Looks like he's
I'm here to
supporting
stun
the
the
decision.
world. I'm here to stun the world. Swerve.
So what you're officially doing is officially announcing your entering of the Hippo and the Crate.
Yes.
So officially, unofficially announcing myself in the Hippo and the Crate. But I just feel like story-wise, that's what we were building to. And unless Roman takes out KO and they still go with Adam Pearce, I'll be more interested.
Well,
I'm
I
more
think
interested in KO versus Roman again.
I think they're just making Nakamura seem relevant. So they have like a big pool of people you could think who might win this year's Royal Rumble.
I would assume that Nakamura gets his shot at Roman at Elimination Chamber because that does take place right before WrestleMania.
As a singles match or the Elimination Chamber?
Probably as a singles match.
I don't know. They normally do. I guess they're gonna do a women's Elimination Chamber match and then a men's.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how they go. I honestly don't know.
Because
I can see Sasha in there and she going against all the women.
If I knock WWE for one thing, I really hate the placement of the Elimination Chamber. I do not like the Elimination Chamber being between the Rumble and WrestleMania. I just don't like that placement.
It's the final step. It's the final form.
I understand what you're saying. Like you have to, if you're the champion, you need to survive this in order to defend your championship at WrestleMania. But still, I just don't like that. But we'll see.
So you had something to mention about AEW. So
if you guys know, the reports were that because the thing I was keeping in track of was that they were going to be leaving Daly's place because the temperature was too cold or something like that. They were going to be relocating to Miami. I read a report that is no longer happening and that they're going to remain in Jacksonville. Does anybody know why?
No.
No.
Oh, no. That wasn't that big. I thought there was something bigger. You know,
No, I was just curious, man.
Yeah, I don't think they were able to find a venue or anything. That's probably what it was.
And then with the Jacksonville, with Tony Khan's father spending so much money on Urban Meyer, will they have any more money to spend towards their AEW production?
See, I asked the exact same question off air to Marcus about, the Jags have got the number one pick, so they're going to be taking up Trevor Lawrence and paying a shit ton of money.
And then they got Urban Meyer, but I'm saying it's separate money. It's separate money.
My favorite thing was when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, the Jags, 4-12, here we come." I
think they get 500 record. Not this year, maybe the year after.
I don't think so.
The year after, I give them 500.
No, I think
they get 500.
I think next season you're both going to have the Jets and the Jags still as losing records.
Let me say this.
Of course, man.
No, I don't. Manny, I think the Jets are going to be better because I think that with the number 2 pick, I think you guys got to take that receiver from Alabama. You got to.
I don't think they're even going to do it. I think they're going to trade down and get more picks.
If they trade down, they get an O lineman. I think that's a good pick. I think that they have a lot of different things that they can do to make their team better. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, was that much better than Sam Darnold. I just don't. I would love to see the Rams trade for Sam Darnold and get rid of that Jared Goff to get a little bit more mobility.
Jared Goff? He's a good quarterback.
No one. I don't think anyone's going to trade for Jared Goff, especially how big that contract is.
Yes, and Marcus, Jared Goff doesn't allow Sean McVay to use 75% of his playbook because he can't be mobile.
Tom Brady ain't never been mobile in his life. You don't need a mobile quarterback to win.
Chris asked a very good question, Marcus. Who do you got in the playoffs this weekend? Because I think we're done with wrestling, right?
Yeah.
I told you. Wait, who I picking to win?
Let's pick these games, man. Let's pick them.
I got the Packers beating the Rams.
Man, are you sticking with the Packers?
Yeah, the Packers. I feel like the Packers will beat the Rams.
Normally, I
beat the Saints.
Normally, I pick defense to win, but I don't think Aaron Donald is 100%. So I think I will also go with the number 1 offense of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, but he's a monster. I think he's still gonna do his job.
I think Brady's still got some magic left in him, and I feel like Brady will beat Drew Brees.
As one thing, as one constant in the playoffs, is Drew Brees is gonna find a way to lose. I don't know. There's new ways. Every single year that Drew Brees lose. Like, what do you mean there's a black hole in the middle of our end zone? We can't score? All right. That's the end of the game.
I feel like also Tom Brady gets this win. I I think he is no. It's something like you said. Drew Brees always finds a way to blow the game, unless they're gonna go with the swerve and put Jameis Winston finally into behind center, just because it's Tom Brady.
I have Kansas City winning
over who? Who they play?
The Browns.
The Browns.
I think the Browns might. I think the Browns might take this. You know.
Hey,
that
Betty,
is a miracle.
Betty, I'm with you. I'm going with the Browns on this one.
Wow. Yo.
No, but did you see the last couple of games that the Chiefs played?
It's a monster.
And so, man, the receiving
no
core.
way they're not getting to that Super Bowl.
I'm not saying they're getting to the Super Bowl, but I think the Browns have a good chance of upsetting Kansas City.
Marcus, I don't want to see a State Farm Super Bowl.
We're going to get it. Jake from State Farm is flipping the coin, baby.
And Manny
is going to come in and destroy the whole arena with his bad luck.
The Bills versus the Ravens.
I want the Ravens to win.
I also want the Ravens to win.
I want the Bills fans to be put back in their place.
I never want Buffalo to be happy. I don't know why, but I don't need Buffalo to be happy.
Don't need Buffalo.
Worst case scenario, I have them go to the Super Bowl and lose, and then I'll be happy.
I think at the end of the day, as long as Buffalo loses, I think we can both be happy, man. You know what? We are on the same page.
Let's say hook or crook. Let's say something weird happens. If it ended up being the Browns and the Bills in the Super Bowl,
can't be the Browns and the Bills in the Super Bowl.
That'd be an AFC division.
It could be an AFC championship.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, you're right. Damn, you can't. I'm saying that, but just imagine that the two franchises associated with pretty much just losing.
I'd want the Browns to win.
Yeah, I think at this point, Cleveland needs something else. The fact is, if they get a lead, you're just going to pound the ball with Nick Chubb the rest of the game, and you keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. That's the fundamental way
you keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands.
You got to keep the ball in his hands.
He's the quarterback. He touches it all the time.
It's bored. No, I'm talking about you win the possession game. You just keep running the ball. Run the clock out. And Chris, I am not a Rams fan. I'm a Chargers fan. I decided not to jump on the Rams bandwagon, and I wanted to start from the ground up. That was
speaking of bandwagons. I nearly left the Knicks broken down car that set on fire to jump to the Nets, but I'm restricting that jump at the moment.
Hey, Manny, I think you should stay with the Knicks. I think Tom Thibodeau is doing what he do, making people play absurd amounts of minutes. But as David Finsdale said, RJ Barrett is like only 20 years old. He can play 40 minutes. Play them. I mean, the Nets are only there to watch because it's a disaster waiting to happen.
So what do you think overall is going to happen with Irving? They're going to cut his contract?
No, I think he's going to retire.
I don't know.
I think he's going to walk away from the game. I don't think he cares anymore.
I feel that dude needs to just get the right help. He seems like he's on a disaster course for something. I don't know why. It's just not. It seems like he's out of it. I don't know.
I just don't think I don't think that team can compete with the Lakers.
I'll whoop the Lakers' ass with that team. If we are healthy and James Harden's in shape.
Okay, I'd like to see. Because the one thing everyone points out, they can't play no defense. They have no defense.
Kyrie can play when he wants.
Manny, to answer your question, I think that if we did an anything but wrestling show, would probably get us more views on any show that we would ever get if we just talked about stuff.
Well, I think that's what we're going to end up leading to be doing at some point.
Yes, the wean off of wrestling. Like, let's talk about anything but wrestling.
Like when my new chair arrives, I'm going to film myself building it. Watch the views come in. Watch the views come in.
They will.
People be like, let me check out that chair.
Manny, you don't understand how many chair videos I have watched.
I know, innit? So many views on them.
and I have decided on which chair I'm going to buy that I'm going to take time to buy. It's a Herman Miller sale chair. It's a very expensive chair.
Oh, that's like $600 or more? It's $1,000 chair.
It's close to $1,000. But because I want the lumbar support and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think that was the chair. It said it support up to 350 pounds, wide base. I was like, it looked like a good chair.
You're going to pay $1,000 for a chair. Does this chair, I'm sorry, It's just chair float like Charles Xavier's chair. We can just walk around and just be like, yes.
No, it's a chair that's made to be sitting over 4 hours. You know, when you get up in age, Marcus, like I am, when you're in your 40s, you have to protect your back
You're
at all
not in
costs.
your 40s. You are 40.
I'm in my 40s. Being 40, you put you in the 40s. I have to protect my back at all costs. And I think that making an investment into my health is one of those things that I need to do.
You're not in the chair that long.
I don't think you need a $1,000 chair, to be honest.
I might not need it. I might go back to the other one that's like 600, but it's an investment. Because I was reading people and what they said that people have bought this chair and it's lasted for like 12 years. And at the end of the day, like if you break that down over 12 years, that's not that expensive of a chair. It's like buying a MacBook. Like people be like, oh my God, a MacBook Pro costs so much money. But if that shit is going to last you 6 years with no problems, then it's a really good investment. Go ahead, Manny. Sorry.
So the chair I want, I'm going to end up spending £260 on it. So to US dollars, that's $350.
That's a good price.
I'm going to literally clip this and call it chair talk.
Oh, Marcus, you don't want to do that, man. You don't want to, because we can really talk a while. But I don't see. I'm going to organically save up the money to buy that chair because I would like to pay cash and not finance it. And I feel like if I buy me a pillow, I could probably have this chair be better. But
Do you want to see my chair money? Here's my chair money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rain, Manny. Because, like, I want to have me a better desk. Like, I want to have
my chair money right here. This is all I need.
You're sitting on a chair that belongs to Eric.
It only cost me $19.95.
Is
right.
that podcast approach? Yeah.
Damn right. Shoot.
No, because
donate to the show, by the way, and so we can get these chairs. How you tell people gonna donate to the show if you try to buy you $1,000 chair?
Well, I want people to donate to the show so I can get a new computer.
Marcus, you don't understand, man. If you watched as many desk setup as I have watched, you understand. Marcus, and like at the same time, you spent $1,000 on a monitor.
On a monitor?
No, I haven't.
No, you would though.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Not even if it gave you 8K, IPS, all that good stuff. No, you
I'll just buy a goddamn TV. $1,000.
Now you don't understand the game, man.
TV.
Hell,
That does 4K. I'll be okay
this
with
camera
that.
right here,
And then
this camera here
motherfucker.
cost me $1,500.
Yeah, but that's your passion, Eric.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when you edit video, when you edit pictures, where do you sit at? You sit at a desk for a long time. And it takes me a long time to edit pictures sometimes. So I need to have something that makes it more comfortable for me to sit there at my table.
I don't know how I'll be comfortable sitting in a $1,000 chair that just sits there. That I'm just sitting there.
So
I'm not comfortable sitting in this $1,000. Like, damn, I really spent $1,000 on this.
$1,000 chair. I gotta be
comfortable.
sleeping in it.
You can't recline all the way back. The main reason why a chair for me costs so much is because most of the chairs that are around the $600 range only have a weight capacity of 250, and I would either need to lose weight because.
So what you're telling me is that you need to get out of the chair and start walking in them streets and working your ass out the chair, and therefore you can get a cheaper chair.
Yeah.
So invest in yourself, brother, and exercise, and that way you don't have to spend $1,000 on a chair.
What makes you think I'm not trying to do that, man? Marcus. I'm covering all bases.
Out there, I'm motivating speaking right now, my brother.
So Eric, my latest look at other chairs was this Mercedes variant from Noble Chairs, which is made by a Germany company. And the starting price is like £300, going upwards to $1,000. And I was just like, I might as well buy a car at that point.
No, it's really crazy when you really like when you look at these chairs and stuff like that. Like the chair game is a whole market that I didn't know. And I'm going to send you guys a picture of the chair.
So Chris said, is Eric saying he is Bam Bam Bigelow's size? Because he doesn't look like it.
Oh man, I'm 330.
Bam Bam at least had the height.
Yeah, I don't have the height. I'm like 5'8",
You
330.
get this color?
No,
This is the chair?
that's the chair.
That's a horrible color chair, by the way.
No,
it's
that is
horrible.
the chair that they
looks
have
like
on
a
there.
soccer net.
No, you can customize everything on the chair.
Eric, that back plate does not even look nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's supposed to be really comfortable though.
Hold on. Let me show the viewers the 7 people who will stay for this part.
You know, Manny could have just got the. I mean, it starts at $545.
That's what you going for? Man, you wasting money, man. I get you the same chair for $25 for a man named Chico. Who lives in an apartment.
First of all, I don't want the chair from Chico.
Chico got the chairs, man.
But like I said, it's one of those things
whatever
that
you need.
it's put on my to get list. It might not happen this year, might not happen next year, but I do want to invest in a better chair for my back.
Okay.
Because I also plan on because when I get my new monitor, that's a nice chair, Manny.
That's a better chair.
What makes you say it's a better chair?
It costs less than your chair.
See, because you guys are only putting in the price of the chair. I'm going for my posture, man.
Eric, we need to get you head tattoos now. No, that's an increasing cost added to his expensive chair.
Let me put it this way. If I get a tattoo, I'm not going to one of the more painful places on my body first. I'm going to at least put it on my arm and see, oh, wait, this shit hurts. It's not like you going there, let me get a rib tattoo. Oh, my God, this hurts so much. Or get the underarm right there. No, I'm going to go someplace.
Well, if you're getting anything, don't get here. This is why there's a massive gap in my arm.
From my understanding, because I've talked to people about tattoos, because just like when I researched chairs, I was researching tattoos, painful areas, elbow, this under part right here, if like you get a full sleeve. That's why you see so many people with just the top sleeve, but nothing goes underneath because it hurts like hell, because that part of your skin doesn't see the sun often, so it makes it a lot more delicate. Yeah, I do a lot of research, man. And Chris, yes, I spend on expensive products so they can last forever. And that's my motto, because I used to do that route and I would go and buy cheap, and then that cheap would break. And then I end up paying twice the amount because I have to count in the amount of money I spent for that cheap product for the new product that I always want to buy.
So Chris thought about getting tattoos, but he's got 2 problems. He said he's too dark and he doesn't like needles.
I think the needle problem is the biggest problem.
It's not as bad as getting an injection, you know. It's what an injection's way worse than like a tattoo gun.
Well, honestly, the only injections that ever hurt me, and this is gonna probably get me really, is when they give me a shot in the butt, because I have to see the needle go in. If I see the needle go in, it doesn't hurt. But when it's,
I remember nearly dying at the dentist. I remember nearly dying at the dentist. So you're obviously lying back and they're working behind you, coming downwards, aren't they? Yep. So she's about to give me the injection in my mouth. But then all I see is the injection coming this way. So the needle looks huge. and at that point, you've got the water thing in your mouth. And then the suction thing also in your mouth. and she's pulling at my mouth as she's doing it. And then I look at it and I go, oh my God, that's huge. And then have the nerve to go, that's what she said before she jabs me with the injection.
Marcus, do you want to talk about your dentist experience? Because I can talk about my COVID test, my first COVID test experience, where I didn't really say the right words. Yeah.
So, I went to the dentist this week, and just to get I guess a cleaning or something, and I don't honestly know what they were doing. I just feel like they took my money. So they in there, he's scraping. I'm going like, this ain't that bad, he scraped the teeth, and then they start hitting nerves and stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can take it. I'm a man. I'll do it. And then he was like, all right, you did that. You took it good. You're a big, strong boy. You can take it. You can take the pain. Most people split your stuff. He didn't say those words, but you can take it. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm a man. He's like, now we're about to go into the laser. He was like, all right, cool. We go into the laser, and it ain't no laser. I feel like there was no laser. I just feel like somewhere was just stabbing me in my nerve endings just repeatedly, and he kept hitting me. And there was one point he got me, and I went ah, And I went like that. And he was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "I'm okay." Okay. Little tear came out on the side of my eye. That's how bad it was. And I was like, "Oh my God, that was intense." And so, I'm seeing blood and everything. And I'm like, he had that fucked up. And then he did it again. And I was like, "Oh." And I'm going like, I can make it. I can make it. And I made it through. But it was, I made it through. But it was like the most like stabbing, burning. Like, I was like, this is different. This is a different feeling. And I was like, oh, I feel like I was violated.
Have you had a tooth removed at a dentist?
No. This is the first time I've been.
I did. Fuck that dude.
It's the worst fucking experience in your life.
The fuckers lied to you too, man. Now, excuse me for using this language because I remember the exact year that it happened. It was 2007, and I had to get my 2 wisdom teeth removed. And they decided they needed to do it at the same time. And so, they go and cut your gums and they give you the Novocaine and everything is good until you see the dude come with the pliers. And then he's like, ugh. And then, because he's not getting enough, he puts his foot up on the chair. And, and I'm like, and it's like, fuck you. And you're like, and and this was for the first tooth. And I knew he had to go and do it on the other side because I think he had fucked up on the first tooth and he kind of cracked it. And I was like, dentists by far the worst people in the whole wide world. Just want to put that out.
First of all, it's the biggest con ever as well.
It is the biggest con.
It is. Like, they have never tried to do anything in a nicer, simpler way. They're just going, I feel like they're doing the same dentistry that we did in 1807. Like, what's wrong with your tooth? It hurt a little bit? I'm going to pull that motherfucker out.
So,
how you going to do that? Yank it?
You know how dentists are corrupt? Because when I was younger, when I was younger, like your benefits really didn't cover braces. Like you couldn't get braces. Like, nah, you ain't good. Next thing you know, I think within the last 5 to 10 years, insurance start covering braces. And then every time you go into the dentist, hey, I know you're 45 years old, but I think you need some braces. What do you mean? My teeth have been fucked up for 45 years. Why do I need braces now?
Who do you know 45?
I mean, it's some grown ass people walking to work. Marcus,
yourself 5 years.
Marcus, there's people that at my job who got braces, and I was like, "You too old for braces right now."
No, I know people with braces. My problem is that after I went to this dentist, my teeth don't even feel the same, man. They don't even feel right. Like,
all that dirt and grime is gone, man. You're no longer grimy like Cameron Grimes.
Damn, terrible people.
Chris, my dentist has divided because I don't have a dentist. I haven't been to the dentist in a long time.
How much did you pay to have two wisdom teeth extracted?
Ooh, I paid a lot. I think I paid. My copay had to be like $300 to $400. It was like copay or something like that
for 2 teeth.
I believe so.
I just see you weren't. I got ripped off. Oh, so I had my wisdom tooth removed. I think 2 years ago. £450. And this guy, I only had one removed. Oh. And this guy used a drill to cut the tooth.
That fucker used a drill on me too. I remember that. I was like, what are you doing?
And then part of me was just like, I knew I should have been put out cold for this shit.
No, I did not do the anesthesia because like the anesthesia was an extra $300. I was like, it's gonna cost that much? Yeah, man. Like then it's
coming there high.
And then the worst part about being at a dentist, like,
completely high.
Holding your mouth open, the corners of your mouth just hurts. So it's like, I do it. Like I fuck the dentist.
And
that's
then when
never going back.
I hate the part where they go, okay, now rinse. Like you can fucking grip the company for. You turn into a man. You turn into a metal. Whoa.
when they Novocaine you up, and then like, they put water, and you just feel that shit coming out your lip. Or I've heard stories of people where the dentist was really bad, and they missed the gum, and they hit them in like their lip, and like their whole mouth was just numb and shit. Like. I don't like the dentist.
So when I was at the dentist this week, you know how you talk about how your mouth was dripping, water and stuff? I wish I had that experience, but they had the suction, right?
Yeah.
So you get the suction, and you're just sucking like the air out of, it's drying my mouth up. The dude walks away, and I'm like, my lips are going dry. We're gonna do that water. Like that. I'm like, my lips were so fucking dry, and he's like, "You got a problem? Look at my lips. Look at my lips. Give me some fucking water.
That's
I have nothing left. You left the suction in me."
The dentist walking away on you. This reminds me of when Dre walked away on me in mid haircut so he can go eat his chicken wings. Pissed me off to this day. That was the last time I went to Dre and got a haircut.
Wait,
but the
so
reason
you're telling me a
was to go
barber
fill up the water container or whatever. Oh, go ahead.
You're telling me a barber walked away from you mid.
Manny,
Yeah.
So when we were going to Our People was a really crowded shop. So
it's a barbershop called Our People.
So
Eric's just not being really racist. Back when I used to go with the blacks.
no, wait, Marcus, it's gonna get worse. Because remember, like you were going to Our People, and so in a black barbershop, you have rankings of who can cut your hair. You have your barber, the backup barber, and then the barber that you go to just because you have some place to be, and they're there. So I would go there. My barber was Dre. My backup was Dante. And the last one, if I had to use, was Big Black man in the corner. Well, Dre started seeing me go to Dante when he was busy. So to make sure that he got me, he was like, all right, big man, as they always call me, get in the chair. So he gets in the chair. He start cutting half of my hair, stops and go to the back and eat his chicken dinner. Was going for like 20 to 30 minutes. And I'm stuck in the chair looking at other people get their hair cut. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I was hot.
Did you have at least anything to do other than just sit there?
No, you just sit there because you know your hands are underneath. It's not like you can hold a magazine or nothing like that.
Chris is asking, is this the barber you felt up?
No, first of all, the barber felt up on me. That was Big Lee. Worst feeling ever, man.
You need to stay away from the bar. Oh, you do.
Yeah, Marcus, my hair fell out for a reason.
Well, that's the end of the show, guys.
ABW on this one, though.
I think this is impromptu ABW because it wasn't.
ABW, this could actually be cut up and be put into another show. Like, I don't know how long we've talked. I mean, but I'm pretty sure we can come up with another topic to talk about.
I honestly think it was 30 minutes of wrestling and 30 minutes of ABW.
Well, we could do like talk about football if you wanted, like as a separate show another time. It's kind of a topic I'm quite adept to.
I'm not really adept to that, but I do get deep into it during playoffs, so I will pay attention to like stuff during then. But I really don't cover football. If it was basketball or baseball, I could probably go with.
Fuck DJ Lemieux! How dare he resign with the Yankees?
I know what the fuck.
What the fuck, man? How you gonna tease me like that? How you gonna tease me? And then go back
telling me that they were thinking about getting them.
I mean, I'm upset by that because I was like, oh man, it was hot. It's hot.
Well, I think we should do a Super Bowl show.
When is the Super Bowl?
I don't really watch the Super Bowl.
I believe. I think it goes to February.
See, I watched the Super Bowl, but then like because I normally go out and watch it, but like now that times are different, it's like you can't.
Yeah.
Like so, even though I have a PS5 in the back and I have a Switch, you know what I've been doing? 2021, I've been reading books.
Oh, you scared me. I thought we were going to get to your personal life.
I've been enjoying reading books, you know. So that's what I've been doing. Okay. I mean, I still need to play this. Still need to play that. Need to play this. Need to play that. This is a really fun fucking game. Just want to let everybody know. Fire Pro Wrestling World, really fun.
It's still in the wrapping, isn't it?
No, this one is open because I've actually played and I downloaded rosters and stuff like that. This one's actually been. This one, nope, not in the wrapper. I'm shocked. Ghost, this is a fun game too. Persona, still in the wrapper. Spider-Man, still in the wrapper.
I can't believe Spider-Man's still in the wrapper.
Last of Us Part 2, still in the wrapper.
Raptors.
Still in the Raptors.
Oh, this is open.
Sting's playing with him.
Yeah, you know, I have a really legit video game backlog, you know.
It's a collection. It's not even a game. You don't play the games.
I play some of them, man. Like Shantae's been putting a lot of work in on the Switch playing Grindstone.
Chris said Last of Us 2 is pure garbage.
You know, a lot of people said that, but a lot of people, they rank it as garbage because they didn't like the ending of it. I don't know what the ending is, but I know the ending was very controversial. But I really liked Last of Us Part 1. That was one of the few games that I have beaten.
I didn't even play it. I didn't even bother playing.
Do you have a PS4, Manny? I thought you were just an Xbox man.
I would watch certain playthroughs of that as well, but like it's just something I couldn't sit through either.
I would point out that is one of the most relaxing things that I do sometimes. Watch other people play video games. It's like, let me watch this guy play this game, and I'm like, yeah, all right. And then you stop.
You know what's been helping me sleep for the last couple of days? Do you know that YouTube channel, Linus Tech Tips?
I've heard of it. I think I've watched a couple of videos here and there.
He's got a few videos where he's just building PCs, which go on for like 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah,
I will put that on and fall asleep to it, and it helps me sleep.
You know what Sharpie wife would listen to? She would listen to a dude getting his shoes shine, like she had a shoe shiner guy that she would watch. He shined shoes all day. It was her ASMR. Put her to sleep.
It's fantastic stuff. I'm glad all the content we
Chris,
get these days.
did you like? Because I think Naughty Dog, don't they make the Uncharted games too? Or am I wrong with that?
You're always wrong. But you're
Mark,
right.
I'm telling you, man, if you got back into gaming, we can really get the numbers up, and we can get free shit to review games.
They wouldn't give us anything till we broke like a few thousand subscriptions.
Oh. If you want to get into that game, man, if you want to get to the racket, I can fake it. I'll review it by watching somebody else play that game.
You know, I would like to see Marcus play Breath of the Wild because, you know, even though that game is 3, maybe 4 years old, people still say it's one of the best games ever made, and he does love him some Zelda games.
I don't have the patience for that type of game.
Why, Betty?
Huh?
Why?
I like to go into situations like Rambo. So when you have to think out how you are gonna attack something, I
too much in Zelda games.
Yeah, you do.
Not really.
Much.
Yeah, you do. I'll be there attempting to attack something with a stick, knowing full well that I've broke my sword or something.
That's Zelda. That's what you can do. You can do that. The thing is, it's only like the puzzles is the only thinking part when you got like puzzles and something.
It's almost like me in Grand Theft Auto 4 when I walked into the strip club and ended up getting shot and killed because I actually hit the trigger button, and the next thing, all hell broke loose. It was a fun moment because, unfortunately,
you died for every reason.
Marcus and Ryan was there, and they have never let it go because Neo, all because he was playing in the background of that strip club, and they still laugh to this day at how I got killed.
That strip club.
Have you ever played The Witcher, Manny?
No, because that seems like it's scary, and I ain't got time for
The Witcher 3. So you're not a big scary game person.
Do you know what? If you jump scare me, I'm most likely to hit out if someone's in the room.
Okay. So you never played the Resident Evil games?
No. Well, I tell you a story about Resident Evil. So do you remember? I can't remember which Resident Evil movie it is, but it's the one where they have lasers and it killed people.
That is Resident Evil 1.
Me and my cousin were watching that in the house in New York, and it's a big house. We were both alone. The moment that happened, all the lights went on, and we both went in a separate direction. It was like, I'm not watching this anymore. I'm done.
My bailiff.
Those are nothing like the video game, by the way.
My bailiff told me this is probably one of the scariest games ever. It's called Outlast, and it's a horror survivor game. Like, you have limited resources.
Scary. I never got into like scary video games.
Yeah, but apparently
scary. But then again, horror movies don't affect me either.
Yeah, but I think it depends on how much you immerse yourself into the game. Like
the only thing that scares me is like the real life documentary about murder, where I just be sticking up and I be walking about my house like, damn, they got him like that. That person was just chilling and they got him. Like I was watching Night Stalker and I was like, fuck, that can happen to me, but why would Night Stalker come in this bad neighborhood?
The last scary game I actually ever really played, and it wasn't necessarily that scary, was Dead Island.
Never heard of it. What was that game about?
It's just Dead Island, and then it's kind of like a more first-person shooter version of Left 4 Dead.
Okay, Manny, what's the last video game that you completed? Like you beat it?
personal question. That is a personal
Ooh.
question right there.
Properly completed.
No, because I've learned that properly completing can mean two different things. Like, I'm just talking about you got to the end of the game. It might not be 100% complete, but you finished the game.
Probably those telltale stories of not Left 4 Dead.
Walking Dead?
Walking Dead, yeah.
Oh, those are fun. Those are fun. I hate that studio went bankrupt.
Yeah, so
you don't get the conclusion.
Yeah, you don't get a conclusion, but I felt like it ended on season 3, but they added a 4th season as a final season, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this. But like, I got to the 3rd season, I was like, yeah.
Marcus, Chris says Resident Evil 1 was the first PlayStation game he finished. What's the last game that you finished, Marcus?
I think it might be Batman Arkham Asylum. First one?
That's a good game.
I think that was the last one I completed. Or,
I think the second Batman one was the last proper story I finished, like a proper big title.
The last game I beat. Oh, okay. Technically, the last game I beat was Street of Rage 4. That was the.
Wait, you played this without us?
It's on my Switch. No one has a Switch.
We discussed all of us getting on
Xbox One. Hey, I could play it again. It was fun. It was a beat 'em up, and it was mindless fun. You walk around like the Scott Pilgrim game looks really fun on the Switch. Like, I kind of want to play that just to walk around, beat 'em up. That's why main reason why I thought about buying Manny a Switch for the holidays was so I could have somebody else to play with.
Aww.
Why would you buy me such an expensive thing?
Manny, you put a lot of work into this, man. And as you guys can tell, that I have expensive taste, and I reward people who I feel like they put a lot of work in. I mean, that's just who I am.
My Switch.
Mark, I bought you a fucking bed. I bought you a bed, man.
You bought him a bed.
Yes. And
Beds are expensive.
And wait, and the chair that he's sitting on right now.
Oh, Chris, that is a really good game, actually.
Which one?
Ultimate Alliance. That was a 360 game, wasn't it? That was really good.
So, you guys, that's another game which I would have probably included with Manny, because they only released Marvel Ultimate Alliance Part 3 on the Switch. And it's fun, but it's not fun playing by yourself. It is like, you really want to have somebody to play with. And Marcus don't play games, and Shantae doesn't like those type of games, so I have nobody to play with.
Play online.
I don't like strangers, man. And like, the one thing about Nintendo, their online is awful. It's real bad. It's real bad.
All this time I thought Manny had all the money, but apparently it's Eric. Yes, of course it's Eric.
Actually, right now, I think Marcus is Mr. Big Bucks, though, because Donald Trump has taken care of Marcus on his last days out.
These unemployment, man, they're fucking around. They're like suspending unemployment and stuff. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, so
they're supposed to extend it, but I'm okay. But it's bullshit.
I mean, you ain't at Ryan status.
Who has crumbs in his pockets? But no,
Yeah.
he got his Trump money. He's been happy.
Oh, okay. I never seen a person so happy about the gift I gave him for Christmas. He's got cash.
I thought you gave him clothes.
Marcus gave him clothes, and I gave him money and a wallet, a Coach wallet, I think. Yeah, it was Coach. Because Ryan liked the floss, man. Because Ryan is the guy that goes to somebody else's house, and as you cook dinner, he'll take a picture of what you cook and then post it on his social media, acting like he cooked that meal.
I'm telling you now, if you don't follow Eric on Instagram, you need to, because the food on there is incredible, and the photo series he's got going on is actually really interesting.
Marcus is not MAGA, Chris, but Marcus will not reject Donald Trump's money that he sends to him. There is a Coach Men collection.
This is unemployment.
There is a Coach. Chris, there is Coach for men. I don't have any Coach because the wallet I have is a Belroy wallet, which is one of my favorite wallets. It's a slim wallet. It's made out of this blue leather that's really feel nice. It cost me $80, but I really enjoy it.
My wallet's made by some hipster company, Herschel Supply.
Yeah, they have nice wallets, and then but Marcus, no. Before I was doing that one, I also was doing. I had this $150 wallet. It was a secret wallet. He has his secret wallet that I bought for him for his birthday.
I get so much shit for this goddamn wallet just
Because of the color, right?
Yeah.
I told you, Mark, we can reorder you a
I
different color.
I should just get. No, I'm done with these wallets. I like carrying cash sometimes, and this
Okay.
one really doesn't carry cash, so it feels nice. Everything's great about it. I just like carrying cash.
Pop the cards up, Marcus. Mark, pop the cards up for the feds.
You know when I do that at the grocery store, people go,
yeah, it's a
like, it pops up, and they're like, it pops up like that, and I'm like, yeah, you just pull it up. One of my cards. Oh, there you go. But it's a little bit impressed. But I get so much shit like him and his what is that, champagne and color? I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah. How much is that? It's like 150. What? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of research on wallets and stuff like that, and mine's cost more than his because mine's had 2 card slots because I felt like let me carry all my credit cards, and I realized that's a bad idea. So
yeah, because you might lose one.
I'm trying to minimize more and not carry so much stuff.
I've got used to just paying things with my phone by just double tapping the power button.
Yep. That makes sense. That's so nice. I wasn't doing that till this year, but we just go in and be like, "This is great. This is great."
And the only annoying thing about that now is because like if you've got a new iPhone that doesn't have the Touch ID anymore, which is like every iPhone for the last maybe 3 years, you have to tap out your PIN now because you're wearing a mask in the store.
Yep. Worst combination ever.
But it's still more convenient to slide out my card because especially now with Apple Pay, you can pull it up and then you can pull out either your Apple card or whatever card you want to pay with. It's amazing. And then it's even more if you have the Apple credit card when you realize that you have that. Yeah, I do. I don't know why they gave it to me, but they gave it to me. When you you get cash back when you make purchases, and so sometimes you be like, "Oh shit, I got $30 on this Apple card of free cash. Let me pay with this." It's amazing sometimes. The one time, Chris, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and one of these guys he's like a music producer, and he was talking about like the clothes that he buys and stuff. He was talking about his t-shirts. He was like, "Man, I love these t-shirts and all that. These are the best feeling t-shirts ever. They don't lose their color. The neck doesn't mess up." I was like, "All right, I'm ready to go buy me a t-shirt." I went and looked at the t-shirt. And I said, "I'm not paying that much for a t-shirt." I think it was like a $200 t-shirt, and I was like, "Fuck that!" Like
a t-shirt for $200. You could buy like 200 t-shirts for that price.
Manny, yes. I was like, "What's the environment? I'd rather waste it and throw it away."
Pro Club, stopping the line at the liquor store.
Because I'll let you know, when I get a mustard stain on a cheap t-shirt, it doesn't bother me. If I got a mustard stain on a 200, I will be angry for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day.
Dang, I'm...
No, but then he also had these pants that were just like, they looked like regular khakis. And then they were like $300 pants. I was like, damn, that's one thing I will not spend a lot of money on is clothes. Like I will go buy those $10 Old Navy jeans and be happy with it.
I don't think any of my stuff, like clothes-wise, is that expensive.
Do we count shoes as clothing?
No, I can't choose as footwear.
That's true. Okay, yeah. Just want to make sure because I was gonna say, man, your shoes probably what are your outfits?
Yeah, but I haven't spent over £200 for like shoes.
But you would
if there was a desire, but like I would have to really weigh out the consequences.
Hey, did you hear him quantify that, Marcus? He's like,
he does,
which means that. With no hesitation, if there's a pair of shoes that he wanted, he would get them.
Yeah, but that's like you with anything, though.
It is true. It is true.
Because, like, let's just sort. Your camera stuff is expensive as fuck.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's too damn expensive. That's why I'm trying to stop from buying more stuff.
Well, you got that Mac Mini coming soon.
Fuck, man, I can't wait for my Mac Mini to come so I can buy my monitor to go with it.
But all I'm hearing is people having problems with it.
They said they're having problems with Bluetooth connectivity and stuff like that, but some people are having problems. I think a lot of people are actually talking about the problems to get more views on their channels too, because I think there's many things that you can do it. And then at the end of the day, if the Bluetooth ain't working, I'll just connect the wired keyboard to it, because I'm just about the more of the ability to process like pictures and videos and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm there for. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can fix it firmware wise.
Because the thing I was going to get a base one just to run this show, because I don't need anything quick to do anything on it. And
apparently the base one does a lot, and that's the one that they have in stock.
Because I said future proof yourself, because you do photography, so that's kind of, you need that kind of horsepower.
Necessarily not really, but because last year I made a plan that I wanted to get more into video, but of course 2020 happened, and then Marcus went up north because I need his help in this situation because I don't know a lot. But I would like to get into video more, and so I do need a little bit more power to get into video. Because technically, right now, between all of us, Marcus has the most powerful computer.
Yeah,
he's more powerful than the time machine.
Now I'm running the most old. I'm now running the old computer.
Well, technically, you have the iPad Pro, which is more powerful than your computer.
I know, but I can't run the show off it.
Which is crazy, though, because I think it should be a way that you could. Chris, we're not rich. You got to make sensible purchases.
Yeah, you've got to just make purchases that are going to be worthwhile. Like I thought the keyboard for the iPad Pro. I thought the keyboard that I bought for the iPad Pro, which was like £300, was going to be a waste of money. But I've used it all the time since I've had it.
Eddie, everyone says that when you buy the iPad Pro, you need to factor in the keyboard, because they say without the keyboard, it's just pretty much a miniature laptop. Like you can get almost everything done. Like technically, as a photographer, I've read reports that I could get everything done via iPad Pro without having a real computer.
Probably.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I was like, after I spec'd it out, it would have been like $1,300. And I was like, man, when I'm in that range, I might as well get me a real computer where I can do a little bit more.
Because so the videos you see, the big project stuff that we do on the channel that I've edited, they've all been done on iPad Pro.
With LumaFusion?
Yeah.
Yes. Good purchase. So Chris, you have to understand the $1,000 on the chair. It's not something that I want to do willingly, but I'm thinking so about protecting my back.
It's not that I want to do.
I will point out that
my
Instagram is, Manny, can you type my Instagram for me? It's Eric Monte and Eric Monte photo, because I can't really type because I don't have the chat. But at work, the chair that I sit at work is also a Herman Miller, and it costs $800. And at first, I didn't think it was a good chair. But the fact that it does correct your posture and it makes you sit more thing, and it makes it easier to sit at work when you're working, I feel like it's a good investment, especially when you sit so much. I mean, I thought about getting a standing desk, but then I realized I don't want no damn standing desk.
Eric, is it Montae?
Yes, that is it.
And then Monte photo.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just put photo at the end. Those tacos actually came out fairly well. I was happy with it. I was happy with it.
You could have mailed me one, man.
I mean, I felt that the carne asada marinade needed a little bit more to it, but
speaking of which, how's your house business, Clark? Your mother-in-law?
She's doing well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be approving.
Who's everyone?
Who wants a standing desk? I want a standing desk.
Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be really good for your back too. But those damn things are expensive, because I did research on standing desks too.
Of course you did.
And I've come to the conclusion that I want one where I press a button and it rises by itself, because IKEA, they sell standing desks, but you have to crank it yourself.
No. They've got an electric one as well, but the motors on it is really shit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, it's so much that you have to go into the whole standing desk system that it's too much of an investment that can go wrong.
Well, Chris, if you're at your desk for a very long time, you do need to stand up at some point.
Circulation.
I've also learned, like, from moving, like lifting heavy boxes is not a great idea. No. Lift things correctly, people.
And Manny, I have bad news for you. As you get older, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Eric, again, you act like you're 1,000 years older than both of
Yeah.
us. It's not even that different.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm letting you know the stages because I've been there. You guys haven't been there yet. Well, Marcus has. When you turn 35, because you're not 35 yet, right, Manny?
No.
I don't think that changed really too much.
When you turn 35, stuff starts to hurt that you never really like, damn.
Eric, if I sneeze incorrectly, I can hurt my back.
Exactly. As you get older, it gets worse and worse. I fear 50. I really do. I really do fear 50.
Well, you don't fear. You welcome old age.
I do.
You're like, I can't wait to be 60.
Yeah, Eric's out here acting like he's a senior citizen.
I hope I make it to 60. You know, that's all we can hope for. Man.
Why are you gonna say that? Why are you gonna bring it? Why are you gonna bring it down to the tone of the next gentleman's chat?
hey, you know what? Like when I got an announcement that 2 people from my job have died already, I'm like, man, it's real out there in the streets.
From what, COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and like, especially with one of the people that you know and you really like that person, it's like, damn. Then we also had another person who died at our job. It wasn't COVID related, but she just had a heart attack in the middle of the night. And it's like, I just saw her a couple of days ago. And it's like, you really start realizing, you know, how short our life is. And so that's why.
By the way, the show's over. This is generally what happens when we end the show.
Oh yeah, we just have conversations. But this time we have a camera, and I don't even care because, you know, I haven't talked to people in a long time because I've been on lockdown. So it's kind of like, hey, I get to talk to people.
I'm hanging up on you. I'm not giving you the satisfaction.
Well, bye. I can just talk to Manny. It can be the untitled Manny and Eric show. But would it be Eric and Manny because alphabetically E comes before M? I don't know how that really works.
We didn't even facet that into when we did our show. It rolled off better.
Well, you guys know you guys are alphabetically correct too, I believe. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because Manny comes before Marcus.
The N comes before the R.
Yeah.
We didn't actually think about that. We just named it though.
What you mean you named it? It just happened. Like, we don't have a name. Let's call it the Untitled Manny and Marcus show.
No. We said that we would call it that till someone gave us a name, but then all the names we got weren't good enough.
Like, so this is crazy. This little camera can shoot 4K. And I was like, I should have been satisfied with this 4K camera. But then I had to buy me another camera. I have a problem.
But your phone can shoot 4K video.
It can. And then, you know, I'm on this film camera kick too. Hold on, let me pull up the tank. This is a
what the fuck is that?
It's a film camera. It's an RV67. Like, it could be a waist fighter. It's film, man. It's film.
My guy's out there looking like he's about to shoot like the news or something.
Manny's response is the greatest thing. Like, you felt like I brought out something that was like obscene in the world. What the fuck is that?
What the fuck? He got a robot. Yeah, you know, my life is hard. Mr. Robot, can you carry me to the other side of the room? As I'm on this. They literally pulled out a Death Star. Like, yeah,
yeah, my camera's like this.
Oh, dude. I'll point out, it weighs a lot. It weighs, man. I should do a camera tour, but I don't think it'll be a good thing because it makes me look really bad.
No, I think we need to start doing stuff like that because we don't have enough about just us in general.
Man.
Oh, Manny with the shoes, me with cameras and stuff. And
all my shoes are in these two boxes, and then like another 3 back there.
Yeah, you know, fuck the people who fuck COVID for messing up Manny's move. He was supposed to have it set up again. He bought those 2 goddamn pillows to be in his background, and now he don't have those pillows right now.
Well, I was thinking about adding more as well. I was just like, do you know what? I don't know when I'm going or not. So I was just like, I don't want anything sent to the address. So like I had to actually find out the shipping on the chair, how long it would take. If it's enough time to get here, I'll order it now. If it's not, I'll wait till I move. But they told me it's like 1 to 3 days. So I'm like, I'm going to order it on Monday.
You know, Chris says I should go to DC and get some pics. Let me point out, Chris, I would love to, but I don't take those type of risks. I don't like to go into any situation where I could possibly be killed at. Like when I was at work, the last time I worked before the outbreak, and they had the people that were protesting, and people said there's Nazis in downtown LA. I was like, Nazis? Man, I was worried. You don't want to deal with no Nazis.
Manny, I've still got props. Well, not great ones, but.
So Mark, what are you eating for the football game? Because we're trying to keep you entertained till the football game comes on.
Well, there's UFC on. I got some Chilla Killers on the way.
Oh yeah, Holiday is fighting. Holloway. I like Holloway. But not enough to watch UFC.
I can't watch UFC anymore. And I've actually, do you know what? The last game I properly finished, if you count it as a game.
UFC?
UFC 4.
Oh, you bought that, really?
Yeah, and I just realized like I could have probably, if I waited a little bit longer, I could have got it on EA Access or EA Play.
You know, with the UFC games, like I didn't feel like there were enough changes in it to justify buying a brand new purchase. I think they had fixed the grappling system by part 3, but then when 4 came out, I was like, I don't know.
No, I didn't get the submission system on UFC 3. I got it on 4.
Oh, really? Is it easier? Because I really sucked at submissions.
Yeah, 4 it seems way more easier.
Mark, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, it just popped in my head. Did anything come from the because I think wasn't Kenny doing like one of his game announcements after that? Did anything come from that?
They have
no. They just have an AEW game show
right now.
after. They just have like a 20-minute game show after Dynamo.
Oh, I thought it was going to be another announcement.
Marcus, I don't know why, but when you were looking lost and staring into the camera, you reminded me of Kyrie Irving for some reason. You really look like Kyrie Irving, just if he had no hair. Chris, Wrestling Empire is interesting because it looks like a bad wrestling game, but it looks fun. But the problem is, I think it all comes down to you need to have people to play with. That's the like some of these games you really need to have people to play with.
That game looks like it's going to be a game that I'm going to have to get a new console for, and it probably would be something I get.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but and then I know Retromania is coming out too, allegedly, which is
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the old arcade version. The wrestling game that used to be in the arcade, so that might be interesting.
I have no idea what games y'all talking about.
Mark, you got to get hip to the game, man. Or what would you like to talk about, Marcus? What can we involve the grand finale except for opening Aquafina bottles and being startled? What's going on in your life that we can relate to you about, Marcus?
Nothing. I'm out of work.
Aquafina or Dasani, Marcus?
Aquafina, man. Dasani.
I'm about that Evian life.
Oh, Evian?
Shantae used to drink a lot of Evian. You heard
Y'all just milking these conversations.
You got that right, because I'm moving on. You heard LeBron is no longer with the Coca-Cola company.
What was he? Oh, with Sprite now?
He was with Sprite. No, he has apparently signed with PepsiCo. And
he a traitor. He a traitor. Oh my God, he's a part of the new generation.
But Mark, it's even worse.
Drink nothing.
It's even worse. Apparently, he's going to be promoting the Mountain Dew brand, which is one soda I do not like unless it's cold red. I like cold red Mountain Dew.
I like Mountain Dew.
Really?
Yeah. Mountain Dew's gross. LeBron's gross now. I can't support that man for anything he does.
Shantae likes the Baja Blast Mountain Dew. I don't know if that ever made it over to you, man, because it was like exclusive to Taco Bell. I don't know if Taco Bell existed.
There's so much stuff in America that doesn't make its way over here.
So do you guys have Taco Bell? I doubt you do.
There's a couple, but it's not like a mainstay kind of thing.
What about Del Taco?
No.
Well, if Taco Bell ain't there, Del Taco damn sure.
It might be. Do you guys have many taco places?
Yeah, well, not many. I know of two. One, I can't even remember the name of the one of them, but the other one is just called Tortilla.
So original.
Yeah, and they do burritos and tacos, and that's it.
If I'm right though, it's more Indian fast food over there.
It's more Indian and Chinese.
Yeah, because I hear that's very popular over there.
And then you may get a sprinkle of like Turkish, where you get the kebabs and stuff like that.
Of those three, which one do you prefer?
Probably Turkish.
Manny, what's your favorite meal?
Wow.
I'm gonna keep it going.
I'm hanging up. I see y'all later.
Bye, Marcus. We can go to the 2-screen thing. Chris is enjoying this conversation. This is the most engaged I've seen Chris in a long time. He's asking questions.
Favorite
food. This chair for too long. I'm like,
That's more evidence of why you need to buy an expensive chair.
I don't need $1,000 chair though.
Ribs. I think ribs is my thing.
Ribs.
My deal. Yeah.
Now, Filipino style ribs or just regular?
No,
ribs?
I just flat out barbecue.
Okay. Because there was one point I was going to make this Filipino rib dish, and I was like, I think it's pork sinanese, or I was like, man, that's a lot of work, though.
Do you know what you need to do first? You need to find a Filipino to help you make that.
My friend Jose, he don't know.
Yeah. No, but you need to find that because what you class as good, made to another person would be like, no, that's trash, man. So like, do you know when you go to a store, like a big brand store, and they have their like their Oriental and spices aisle?
Yes.
What you learn from real Asians is you don't buy those brands. You buy brands that look like proper.
Yes.
Bottle.
Probably like a bag or something. Like it has a name on there. But like the thing about it for me, like Filipino cuisine is a very hard cuisine for me to get my head around.
It's too oily. I don't really do oily food.
And that purple potato cake that you guys have, I can't stand that cake.
Oh, but there's too much. Wait, that depends what it is because there's so much purple. I think naturally it's called ubi, but like the ice cream is fire to me. But like everything else, I stay away from it.
Oh man, do you want to hear the ultimate fail last night? So we had to go get food, and Shantae wanted a vanilla shake. Because I had got me a strawberry shake from someplace else. She's like, I really want me a vanilla shake. So I was picking up Wingstop for myself. And next door is like a Japanese, possibly Mexican, like botanical thing or something like that. So I was like, I'll go in there and I'll get her a vanilla shake. Got her a vanilla shake. Guy scooping the vanilla shake ice cream out and stuff like that. I'm like, it looks like ice cream. I bring it. I was like, hey, I found you a vanilla shake. This was the garbage, man. It was garbage. I don't know what the hell it tastes like, but it was one of the worst things I've ever tasted in my life. And vanilla shakes don't have that much taste. Chris, she's doing well. She's still waiting to have surgery because of COVID.
You know, that's the biggest bullshit around COVID is like people's like actual surgeries and stuff.
Yes. And
like procedures are being held off because of it.
Manny, I think we have to end because Marcus has been disengaged for so long that he's sitting there and he has this brooding face like, hey, I want to walk away, but I'm not going to be that guy that walks away, but I'll let my silence speak volumes because I have nothing to say.
I don't think I can feel my legs anymore.
All right. I think that concludes whatever we were doing here.
We'll just end the show.
Yeah.
It kind of ended about an hour ago, to be honest.
Hey, but you have to.
It's a 2-hour show.
But Manny, you have to be appreciative that I extended this show without even renting on AEW.
Yeah, but I feel like we were gonna do this anyway, but like not on the show.
You know what? Chris engaged because Chris kept chatting. You know, I mean, shout out to Chris for being a part of the show, man.
He should just jump on one day.
He doesn't want to get on camera or mic.
We could just do an image. We can cut to the image.
You know, I could always buy that voice distorter, like where he'd be like blah 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 blah.
It's my favorite things when people are
I like it when the lights are off and there's just like a off light in the background and you can't see their face and then the voice changes.
Well, like for me, I love when the parody movies do it. And like they have the black face, and then the guy moves, and they forget to block the face out, and you see him, and they're like,
so. Well, there's that one video. I don't know if you saw. They were doing like a, discreet interview of people in the skies, right? You know, they had the full censored over it. So they're doing the interview, and they go to somebody else. But in the background, you see somebody wearing the exact same outfit the person's wearing, and their face isn't blurred out. That was so funny. And it was like, well, fuck her then, I guess. Damn. Because they did not blur her out. They literally have her clearly visible in the background waiting for her turn to get interviewed.
But the greatest thing, though, like when that happens is like, if it's live, it's not much you can do. But if this is like a post edit and like the person in post did not realize that, you should be ashamed of yourself.
It's not live. It's not live. They never do secret interviews with people live on TV.
You know what? That whole production crew deserves that. Death is on their hands if she got killed. Oh yeah.
I always want to see the guy who does the interview like that, is blacking out his whole face, and then they're talking and they just be describing everything about their life. It's like, oh, I know who this is, and you just figure it out. Yeah, I grew up. I went to second grade with him, sat right behind him in class. And
Man,
he was fucking crazy.
Do you read books for joy, or no?
What?
Do you read books for joy?
Yeah. What would you act like I don't read?
No, because I didn't want to ask.
Read books for joy.
Do you do you read?
That's
because
a weird question.
No, I just want to know if you read books.
Read books for joy is a far worse question than just asking me flat out. Do you read? Do you read books in your spare time?
Okay, that's fair. Me trying to lessen the blow made it worse. It happens.
Do you read books?
What type of books do you read, Manny?
Well, I'm currently.
I'm currently this for some other time. We do have to show a gentleman discussion, guys.
Okay, Mark. You know what? Manny ended, and
you can answer that question. My legs are dead.
All right, we're done.
I'm 36. I'm 36. Okay. I'm 36.
If you bought a $1,000 chair, you wouldn't have this problem.
I took a shit in Ivanka Trump's toilet.
What?
Did you not hear that they didn't allow the Secret Service to take a shit in any of her toilet?
They had to rent an apartment on the side because their 12 bathrooms was not good enough for the help. Yeah, these people are awful, man.
Well, then.
I thought you knew that's part of the joke, and I was about to hit end.
No, I just thought that was a random fucking thing. I was like,
no,
what? That's a fact about Manny I didn't know.
No, man, it's like fuck your toilet. Like the fact that if you gonna stop me from using the toilet, I would have shit in all 12 bathrooms. That's what I would do, and not flush. But I don't think I have that much poop in me.
No, Eric, I'd do an upper decker. I'd shit in the bowl. I'd shit in the tank.
Or back to like high school where whoever that person was, they shit in the corner. No one knew. Shit in the corner.
Although we will at some point add potty talk, like the New Days podcast, to this show.
Yeah. Are you shit? Are you weird?